Time for Fans Forum. We're looking for co-host here because we think this is an unbelievable story. We've never had this type of expectation before as to what Padre baseball might be. And the town has just been electrified by this ownership and what he has done. So you got questions from fans, want to make statements here? Go ahead, John.
Okay, so let's get Emmanuel Najera here involved. He says, so it took $350 million for Manny Machado to change his mind about opting out. Good for Manny.
Well, good for Manny because, as Peter Seidler said, Manny has earned this right to either opt out or ask for the magic dollar number because of what he's accomplished over the course of his career. Now, Manny came to San Diego, let's be very honest, just like Eric Hosmer came to San Diego. Let's be very honest, because they were paid an amount of money nobody else was going to pay him. Mm-hmm. So they came for the payday. Hosmer did not work out. Manny has worked out. Manny could have gone on the open market and elected because he was being given a state-of-the-art money, averaging 31 plus mil for the next 11 years with a full no trade. Stay here. I like living in San Diego. He wasn't going to get it going home to Miami, not with that Marlins ownership. And I don't know how many, maybe the Mets, maybe the Yankees would have done something, but that's living in New York, and that's a whole different atmosphere there. So Manny earned this along the way. So I don't begrudge him the money. I do think the money is unbelievable. I don't know what's going to happen with Juan Soto next. I don't know how many more $40 million deals Peter Seidler has in his checking account for Juan Soto. But at this point, we got 2 years to win this thing in the World Series before things could change along the way.
Yeah. Well, do you remember when he said I was going to opt out? On Twitter, all the fan bases around Major League Baseball all had Twitter feeds with pictures of Machado in a Mets uniform or Machado in whatever team. Everyone was salivating for this guy, but it was all this game that was being played as they led up to this contract. But in our last podcast, you said that maybe, Peter Seidler is kind of tapped out. This is maybe all he has. Well, it looked like he had a little bit more, or a lot more, 350 million more for Manny. Yeah. Now the question is, can they get Tatis? I know a lot of fans are thinking the sky is unlimited. We're going to get Tatis. I'm not Tatis, excuse me.
Soto.
We're going to get Soto, and we're going to get Ohtani, and we're going to get the whole world coming here. And I just kind of wishful thinking, but it makes you wonder what's next, because every time we've been surprised, and the more we keep getting surprised, the more we think that this is the way they're doing business.
Well, it is. Understand that new math, which is foreign to me, and I know you know nothing about new math because you cut class to go have a beer. The new math allows you to creatively move money around. So the new math allowed them to go to an 11-year contract with the average salary, which then is used to configure what your luxury tax number is. So that's why they went to this 11-year deal for Manny, and why they went to the 11-year number for Xander Bogaerts. So you got new math. The other thing is you got veteran players who might be coming off contracts. Blake Snell, 13, 16 million this year. Maybe he's not part of the equation a year from now. He is up and down, hot and cold. Maybe you got young pitchers in the pipeline about ready to take the step. So you move some of Blake Snell's money and you put it in this box towards Juan Soto. Mm-hmm. And you got other veteran guys.
Maybe, Drew Pomeranz.
Well, Drew Pomeranz, 15 million becomes available.
Yeah.
Josh Hader, final year of his deal. Does he go away? Because maybe you got some other hot young arm. It's going to be the closers. Then Robert Suarez.
Yeah.
So there's a creative aspect to how you configure getting to whatever the Juan Soto number is, and you might use some of that money that went to some of these other guys. It's in the box for Soto next year. That's why, as you and I have talked to Dodger fan on our live stream, Dodgers are going crazy because of the fact that there's 11 veterans that are gone from this roster and some big money guys. Well, that box over there is for Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah,
and
right.
Some of that Justin Turner money and some of that Trey Turner money and David Price money, that's in the box already for Ohtani. So there's creative ways to do these contracts. So that's something that we'll have to watch. Okay, let's move on. Next question along the way here.
Okay, this one's from Ryan Kennedy, and he says, do you think Fernando Tatis Jr. has realized he got a wake-up call after his long suspension, or will he go back to his old careless ways? he truly has a special opportunity that a lot of people would give their right arm to be in after a lengthy suspension.
Well, item one, you're talking about the maturity level of Tatis, now age 24, no longer a kid, and has really gone through a bumpy road here. It's all on him as to who he hangs with, what he does away from the field, what he does in his offseason. The fact that he spent most of the offseason here after Peter Seidler and AJ Preller told him, this is how you're doing business going forward. And then Seidler he made this strong comment this past week when he talked to the media for the first time. Peter indicated that Fernando Tatis owes us. He has a responsibility to the organization, responsibility to the town, responsibility to the fans sitting along the third base line. So I think they're putting a lot of public pressure on him that you will walk down this road straight and narrow. Now, that's the whole personal part. The professional, can he stay healthy? Had a double and a home run in a inter-squad game yesterday. He designates hits against the Giants on Tuesday. They will work him in slowly. He wants to play every inning of every game. They're not going to do that because of the wear and tear factor. They're going to bring him along slowly. But he's done everything he can physically to come back from the wrist, to come back from the shoulder. So we're talking, as it relates to Tatis, Ryan, we're talking two different storylines. What is he like as a person going forward? He's got to change. Led to believe he has changed. What will he be like as a player? Well, we'll find out April 20th when he actually gets activated back onto the open roster. And also keep in mind there's another angle out there. He's drug tested 9 times a year now because he is a, quote, felon under the baseball substance abuse program. So he cannot step off the straight and narrow, because if he takes anything and he tests positive for anything, from cold medication to whatever stimulants might be out there, he's in bigger trouble. I don't think he's going down that road. So we'll see what he is as a person, and we have to wait till April 20th to really see what he's like as a player when he starts to play every day.
Yeah, we're all excited to see him out on the field. But you had mentioned earlier that Tatis has made Manny a better player. But I bet you that Manny is teaching Tatis how to be a better man.
And I think Nelson Cruz's impact, because they all come from the background of the Dominican Republic, and Cruz is really good clubhouse guy. He's not the player, obviously, he was in Minnesota, and he's coming off a really substandard season, but he's 42 years of age with the Washington Nationals. But he has a history of being a strong guy, strong presence to young Latin players in clubhouses, and the Padres have got a bunch of them. So there are people there that are going to be wrapped around Tatis, and hopefully Tatis will listen to them, talk to them, ask them questions along the way.
Yeah, I mean, there's a great chemistry in that clubhouse that I think is going to make all of them better as individuals and collectively as a whole. I mean, this team is going to be a fabulous this year. It's going to be great to watch.
We have any more questions here you want to throw?
We got
here?
A bunch of really good YouTube questions here. This one's from Rowdy up in here, and he's talking about Bally Sports going broke, that whole thing. He said Bally lost out on my money when they pulled from the streaming services, and now I stream it illegally.
Well, he's streaming illegally, but A, you might get caught, B, you might get shut down. So
yeah,
baseball's taking this thing under control. They've got 6 weeks to really set in place where they're going to go, how they're going to deliver the games to the markets, what the fans are going to be able to access to, subscribe to, etc. This is a really complex issue, and that's why I haven't really gotten deep into how you do the streaming and how you distribute it, etc. Baseball's got another problem because Warner Brothers AT&T, which is also a bidder on baseball rights, I think they have 6 teams, including the Pirates that I know of. They've just announced they're getting out of the regional sports network, and they have given their broadcast packages, AT&T is called, they've given them back to the respective clubs. I think Kansas City, maybe the Rockies, Mariners. I know the Pirates for sure. So baseball's doing a lot of stuff behind the curtain here because they got to solve this distribution issue going forward. And, opening day is just around the corner. So I think the negative right now is that these teams are taking a hit. They're not getting in rights fees from their regional sports network what they used to get. For at least 1 year, they're going to bleed. And then baseball is obviously going to I think they'll get this thing solved because they're smart people on Park Avenue in New York.
Well, I just solved the problem for my family. I signed up for DirecTV today, and it was the promotion was $89 a month. It's month to month, no contract. They tried to sell me a box and a separate remote control for it. I was like, no, because it just sits on top of your internet connection like Netflix. So I'm going to be paying $89 a month. And I think after 3 months, it goes up to $99. They always get you. But now I can get it streaming because we cut the cord on Cox like 3 months ago. So there is a solution. It's pricey, and you got to have a high-speed internet connection to make it work. So this is all this state of transition with technology. I think the dust will settle in the next couple of years. But Padre fans right now are wondering, where do I go? What's next?
Well, we'll try to pass more information along as it comes. I just trust the commissioner's office and his smart people. They'll get this baseball thing resolved. Hey, listen, hope you have enjoyed our bonus coverage podcast on a Monday talking about the Padres and the whole Manny Machado story.